Hello everybody, this is Flora and this is my database lab experiment number 4. So to the continuation of our previous experiment where we were drawing tables and inserting details for a training institute scenario. Now we have a table called inquiry. There are two entries in it, Anil and Sachin, who are living from Coimbatore and Erode. So today's experiment will be using set operations and join to to write the SQL command for the following. So first one is to retrieve the name of students who made inquiry from city Coimbatore and Erode. So how do we do that? Is we do it using a keyword called uni. So what actually happens is this command where city equal to CB will be executed, followed by that where city equals to Erode will be executed, and both of the details will be combined and displayed. If we look at the table of inquiry, so you look there, we have Anil and Sachin, which would be displayed. Now next we have is to display the details of inquiry made between 1st Jan to 1st December. So we have to find all the inquiries made between 1st Jan and 1st December. So if you look at a table, we have one inquiry on 14th Jan and one on 14th November. So both has to be displayed when we write the command for it. So what we do is we use a keyword called between, and so that is between 1st Jan and December, and we get the details of the same. Now next query for us is to display the name of students from CBU and studying in Oracle. That is, if you look at the scenario, it is they have to live in Coimbatore, so that is only Anil, and they should be studying Oracle. So if you see Oracle is over here, the course code is 10. So is the course code same? Yes. So then it has to be Anil. So if you execute this command, if we execute this command, only the details of Anil will be displayed, since he is the one who is from Coimbatore and he also pursues Oracle. Now next question that we have is to display the name of students who have studied more than one course. So all those who have studied more than one course. Now what do we do for this is we use a aggregate function called count. So what will count actually do is it would count the number of rows which would produce the output. So if you see in this, we are selecting course code, we're selecting name, and we're grouping them according to course code, and we're selecting if there is any entry which is more than once. But if we look at the table, our scenario table, there is only two entries and each has different course code. So there is not going to be any of them. So that is when none of the rows are displayed, no rows to be selected. Now next question that we have is to display the name of students living in Coimbatore but not studying Java. So what does that mean? The person has to live in Coimbatore and not study Java. That is, he can study anything else. Now course code for Java is 20, so it should not be 20. So that has to be Anil because he is not studying Java. So you see it's Anil. So how do we write that? We write select whatever details we want to select. E, F name, S name, whatever attributes of the column, and the table name, and Cartesian product would be used, and where we need course code to be similar because course code is not there in our table for inquiry. So we have to equate that with the course table and mention that the course name. Now this is the operator that is used to say not equal to in SQL, so which should not be equal to Java. So that is how we get Anil. Next, our question is to list down the course which is not taken by any student. Not taken by any student, that means the number of count of course code should be equal to 0. So that is what count of course code equal to 0. Now how many course codes do we have? We have two course codes, that is 20 and 1, and we have both the course codes have entries, so we don't have any course which has course code which has count to be equal to 0. So that is why no rows are selected. Next, our question is to list down the course which is not taken by any student. Retrieve name, city and inquiry number of a student. So how do we retrieve the details of a person? We use the select command, and particular, if you want to display all the details, you use an asterisk symbol instead of all this. But if you want to display only particular column, so you just have to mention that, and so only the ones which is required will be shown. So now next question is, let's retrieve name and city, display the name and city of the student without eliminating duplicates. Now what happens usually is, if you again try to enter a detail called Anil, it would again re-enter itself. So there is no constraint which is used to limit only one time user. If suppose we need to display only once, we need to use the keyword called distinct. What distinct does is it removes out the copy data, and it only gives distinct data. So, and if we don't mention, then we would get redundant data. The next question is, to list the course name of the course which is mostly inquired. So what in this case, what I've done, mostly inquired. Now mostly inquired, you can do it in two ways. Either by finding the maximum number of inquiries of a particular course code, we can use subqueries, and then comparing that amount, that count, with the course code of the other courses. Otherwise, in this, simply I've said, the question, since the question is not specific, it says mostly inquired. Since it's mostly inquired, let's assume an average of it. So if suppose our average and our count should be greater than the average. Now what happens in this case of ours is, we have only two courses and both are inquired only once. So the average is going to be same. So there is none of the course which would be more than the average. Both the courses would be both the courses are, suppose if there is 1 so what is the average? Average is, it should occur at least once. So both the courses occur at least once. So there is no course which is more than the average. Now suppose if we have another entry, if our course code is for Oracle is another, if it increases, if suppose there's another data and that would increase the course or particular course value, so what happens is the average would increase. So when it is out of 3, so the average turns out to be 1.5. So the count of the course which is increased would be greater than the average. So that would be displayed. Next question we have is to list the details of the students who made inquiry, had completed the enrollment and paid the fees. So what we have to do is we have to ensure that they have completed the enrollment and they have paid the fees. So what we do is we use the not operate, that's what we use for Java, where it is not equal to. So our roll number should not be equal to 0. That means there should be a valid user, and the amount paid should not be equal to 0. Now in this you can also put whatever amount is specified for the course. So with that you will get to know whether they have paid the entire amount, and the roll number of the amount payer and the course person should be same. So this is all for my experiment. Thank you.